Mabuhay, this is Bob from Love Beyond the Sea. Here's a comment from an older video. Why do you need a one-sided legal contract with the government? So he's referring to getting married. And I didn't rush out to get married, even though we got married quickly. I had waited 30 years trying to find somebody before I finally did in the Philippines. That's why this channel is called Love Beyond the Sea. And I've been married 8 years, and I'm very happy we did. I have met other people in person that said, well, marriage is just a legal contract, just a piece of paper, and you really don't need to do that, so why would you? Well, I'll try to be brief and explain my view about this. You're certainly welcome to leave comments. You may very well disagree with me, but why do you need it? First thing that comes to mind is, if you have a relationship with somebody, you're going to be having intercourse, almost guaranteed. And when that happens outside of marriage, it shows a lack of commitment to that person. In fact, both are just simply using each other. The women use men, and men use the women. And not only can you get diseases and stuff like that, but there can be a pregnancy that can ruin, one or both of those people's lives for good, because there is no commitment. So if there's no commitment, you shouldn't be sleeping with someone. And someone could say, well, but I am committed, and if she does get pregnant, I'll still be there. Well, I like the safety of the legal process of, protecting assets. People are going to say, well, if you get divorced, then you'll lose half your assets, but you don't know that that's going to happen. That's not a good reason to avoid getting married, I don't think. When you are married, you have a legal, although it shouldn't go that far, you should have a moral, ethical commitment to your wife, but you do have this legal commitment to her, which should make you work harder when things get tough, so you don't bow out early and renege on your obligations to your spouse and to your family. And when you are legally married and there are consequences for just deciding to up and leave, well, that's a good thing, because then it forces you, this is me thinking, it forces you to stay together. Last thing I want to do is have my wife leave me, so I want to be the best husband I can possibly be in every way to keep her around as long as possible. And I feel like the best way to do that is be married in front of witnesses, and it's a legal marriage. And whether you feel committed or not, you really have to be committed, or there could be drastic consequences. So you don't want to try to break up a marriage like so many people are doing. They don't even know what commitment means, and they don't even know what love means either. And so I think to prove your love to someone, you want to get married legally, and then you want to do everything you can to stay with her until one of you dies. Otherwise, it's just meaningless words. I love you doesn't mean anything if you divorce them. And I'm committed means absolutely nothing if you're not married to them. And with marriage comes this legal contract. I remember signing our legal contract in the Philippines. We needed it for my spousal visa petition. And we had one where we married in Davao, but we had to get one with an official seal in Manila that actually just delayed my petition 2 or 3 weeks, but we were expecting that. And so that piece of paper means a lot to me, but I don't think about it, because now that we're married, I know we have to stay married, and that's mainly my responsibility. I think, and what I try to teach here on Love Beyond the Sea is, don't make excuses, don't blame bad luck, don't blame anything. Just do what you have to do to keep the marriage together one day at a time, be the best you can be, and that's all you can be. That's all you can do. So I don't like the idea of just being with somebody, because I know they could leave me at any time. They could say, well, Bob, I was committed to you, but that changed when I met bill. And I could do the same thing. Well, I really love you. I like you a lot, but frankly, I found somebody better. And that just causes a lot of pain and a lot of problems, but that's what you get when you don't have a legal contract. Neither of you is bound to that person at all and can leave at any time you want because you're merely dating. You're not married, and to me, dating is the minor leagues and being married is the major leagues. I wanted to get married. My wife wanted to get married. We got married. We both have rings that should signify that we made this commitment 8 years ago and still married today, even though we only knew each other for less than 8 weeks before I flew over to the Philippines and got married. And now it's my job to do everything I can to be good to her and love her and protect her. And I talk about a lot of ways to do that on Love Beyond the Sea. So I hope you would consider subscribing here and leaving a comment. I wrote a book. It's over there on the coffee table called Meant to Be, A Match Made in Heaven. It's only like $5.50. You can download it. It's like 50 pages and 15, 20 pages of pictures. At the back of it, just kind of details in order from meeting her online to getting married to my thoughts about the future. So it's kind of chronological with many, many, many topics. And I talk about those things here as well. Lots of playlists on videos. If you want to see my wife and I, I've got a playlist on YouTube called Just Us. It's got, I think, over 200 videos there. I've got about 1,580 videos total, and I want to keep making them regularly. So if somebody is interested in finding a woman overseas, then they can at least know how I did it and a lot about why I did it, which some of it has been answered here today. So why do you need a one-sided legal contract with the government? I think it's protective. I think it forces us to do all we can to stay married. There are consequences of a divorce. So I know a lot of people stay single because they don't want the consequences, but then they don't know that that person is committed to them or isn't seeing somebody else, which they certainly could, because neither one is committed to the other. So that's my strong line I take on this. So I wanted to take 8 or 9 minutes and talk about that here today on Love Beyond the Sea.